Hey everyone, just doing a random live stream once again. If anyone's online at this hour, but I wanted to show a little bit more. I've kind of revised this brainstorming workflow thing that I've done, and I wasn't initially going to release at all because it was mostly just for me, but I just made it a little bit slightly more clean, but it's a brainstorming workflow, and yeah, how clean can it be? But basically, it has like these different parts in Paint: image to image, upscale, lower options included, and I'm working on a cyberpunk cinematic thing I'm trying to do, and the idea is that I don't know quite what I'm going to do all the time, and don't know how I'm going to put it together. So I just kind of slowly try to build up the images to try to get it to look like something. And I mix and match things, I put things, overlap things, things that are wrong because they're from something else, and just see what comes of it, and kind of like hope for the best. But that's about it. So I'm just gonna stream. I don't know exactly what I want to make of this, but yeah, basically showing the work that I will be doing, the work that I am doing, that will for something that will be released later for actual like cinematic. So it's like basically like its own type of like see how I work through the issue. I started mostly by coming up with a cyberpunk, like this little routine thing to try to get the framework for like what's it gonna be like if I simply had a scenario where you have somebody, just a regular person living in a cyberpunk city. Like, what would it be like? And I had to kind of come up with certain like a description for a routine, and now I can try to focus in on one specific character to try to make it more like a story. That's the idea behind it, at least. Probably should take down the sizing of this one just because I'm still brainstorming and it might go a little too slow. But I'm also gonna change up some things. I'm gonna put the Arcane Alchemy playlist on so it's not just the same background music too. I'll turn it down just a little bit. I kind of need mood music to get this right, actually. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but anyways, I started on something already, and one of the things I do a lot is go back and forth between certain things. So one of the things I did was in my image editor, I have this one scene of somebody like at the end of the day, this is what the screen wasn't long enough and she doesn't have a pillow. So I was thinking like there's so many things wrong with toes, but mostly just creating keyframes. That's what I'm doing right here. And I managed to those keyframes help set the mood, and when I have the mood set, then everything starts to slowly come together. And when everything starts to come together, when the mood of everything comes together, then my work starts to come together. So all of that is like really important, I think. Ambiance first, feelings first, get the concepts of what you're trying to do first, then move on to like more specific things, like how to like describe all of these things in the scene and whatnot. Just to give an idea, because I'm pretty sure it'll help. Oops. starts off something like that, but then it turns into something like a little bit darker when I wanted to have it like more cyberpunk like. But in the middle of doing all that, I started to realize it would look cooler if it wasn't just about a lab, and then I turned it to something as it kind of progressed and turned more into like a bar. So it's just using the same kind of like alchemy tube thing, and I can like go back in and change those things as well. But all of that really helps. Hello there. Who's this? Salt to a slug. Well, you know, like I said, I was trying to say, I kind of use the music to help find the mood for what I'm trying to do. Specifically, like for this thing, I'm trying to go like all the cyberpunk stuff, so it helps to really give me a feeling of what it's like. I do it on purpose. it's not like it's not a side thing. It's the thing. I can turn up my microphone, I guess. I don't want it to show up in the yellow. Let me see what my sensor is on here. Maybe it's that part. The other thing may be kind of low. I'm trying to blast the ears off anybody. It's hard for me to tell like everybody else's settings. I know what it says on my computer, but I don't assume that that's going to be the same for everyone else. Here, also, yeah, let me go back to the regular. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, right now I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to make like a tram thing, like this kind of sky tram thing, and I'm mixing tons of lores together. Now, I don't care that it looks like really jumbled and crappy like with this stuff in the beginning, because again, I'm brainstorming, so that part doesn't matter too much. It's when I get something that looks decent, I usually put it over in this one, and that's where the image to image thing. So this workflow is a little bit weird right now. These switchers are very important to how this workflow works when I get to the point where I'm trying to edit stuff or make it look different. So this basically turns off MPaint conditioning and the actual latent image for MPaint, while the first one like goes to the original output of the load image, which is whatever I take from here and just drop over here. So basically, a good way to say it is like, so let's say I get something I like over here, right? This thing's still running. I don't know. Do I have it on auto run? What am I doing? I don't think I pressed it that many times. But let's say I just like something from over here. Like, this image actually looks pretty interesting, at least. I can take this and then, oops, not like that. I actually can take it from here. Take one of these, drop it into here, which is actually, this one looks like it was built off the last thing I was loaded in here. And then, if I have the same description, which is not, this elongated widescreen thing was for MPainting thing. But it doesn't matter, because the MPaint conditioning is still set to 1, which is the first pass over here. So it's still listening to this conditioning, and it's taking the latent from whatever is right here. As you can see, like it comes down here, VA encodes, and then it just comes right over to this thing as input 1. Now this thing is very important because that's why I have it in red. Again, this hasn't been released yet because I haven't made it like really like decent for other people to like utilize. The previous version is out, but it doesn't have all the switches that makes it so you don't have to keep reconnecting and disconnecting nodes. But this is for the MPainting thing, which uses a different model, the flux fill thing, and it has a differential diffusion node attached to it. So whenever I actually am switching to like what this is talking about right here, because I had that LED screen problem on, if you look on the thing right here where it wasn't literally embedded in where I wanted it across the wall, like kind of in front of her. So I wanted to have an in-paint edit there. So I did this thing right here, but it's not really doing anything right now, right? Because I'm not doing anything there. So when I want to switch to that, I have to do this, plus this, plus this. Each one goes to 2. So they're all going to be set to the same number no matter what. Yeah, this I did create this workflow on my own, because it was just, again, it started out as just me like doing this part, the first pass thing, where I was just like, I just want to explore ideas and just see what happens. I'm gonna turn down the resolution size to this. 120 divided by 1.5. Is it 10? It's 88 divided by 1.5. And make it a little bit faster. But yeah, the idea was like I was gonna make this like, it was just like, usually I took like 4 images, and I would just brainstorm what, you know, whatever I had, whether if it was I just took something from ChatGPT, or I used that other workflow where I just have that automatic like thing where I took an image, then I put it inside there, and then it made a prompt, and then it spit out another image on the other side based upon what it read from the image. And I would take all that stuff, throw it in here, and then I was like, oh well, what if I could just change it a little bit, because I like it a little bit, like the overall look of this, but I kind of want to change up a little bit more. So I would come over to image, and then try to adjust some things with the prompts, and then I added the in-paint. So it was like slowly I started making bits and pieces of it until I got to the point where I was like, all right, let me just put it all together. But I knew the purpose of this is just to brainstorm. It's not like to come to like any of these things supposed to be like masterfully done. That's not the point of any of this. That's later on. Like you can get some results like that in the end, but it's not like overly important to have everything perfect. The idea is just to like come up with stuff. And then the fact that when you do image to image, sometimes you get stuff that doesn't make sense, but it also looks cool, and then that's a good starter image to base something else on. So, you know, another thing is I have this little fast groups thing, so I can turn off the first pass and just concentrate on this part, so I don't have to run through there and just see what I can, the changes I make on image to image. And here, just put this over here. But the key to making this, oh, it's not gonna work that well right now because it's 1. The key to making it like work well for like just modifying it a little bit is just messing with the denoise. And if you turn it down, it won't change as much. If you turn it all the way up to 100%, it completely just kind of changes. But you know, depending on what you want to happen, you know, you can alter certain things like more directly, I guess. For instance, like let's say I just wanted to, I don't know what do I want? This is not that, but this one right here. This is what we're basing it on, right? So let's say I could just, oh my god, this is a person. It's a laptop with legs. Oh man, that's different. Okay. That's part of it. Hey man, you'll get better, man. The more you just do this, I do have a Discord channel. Yeah, I didn't list it on YouTube. I listed it on the Patreon, but I didn't put it here. Hold on, give me a second. Let me put the link in the chat or whatever. I forgot about that part. I'm still getting used to the streaming stuff. Where is that thing at? Yeah, I think cause yeah, you can actually hear me on Discord too. Invite people. Yes, let's invite people. Let's just use this one for right now. Okay. And now the live thing. Okay. You're seeing everything now. You guys are seeing everything. Okay. I think I just put it in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm still working on all these different things because there's too many freaking platforms. But okay, let's see. What did it do? Yeah, all right. So I don't think it's listening to this. It's definitely not listening to this part. Right? Positive conditioning is input and on 1, so it's still listening to the original. But yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, like one of these things is probably like this hoodie thing is probably way too high. I'll probably turn that down. I got like a ton of lawyers working at once, and they probably are not. They're not always friendly with each other. I don't even know if I need to have this one activated, but. Yeah, because this is, I don't know what it's doing. It's like almost like a TV screen feel. But that was, I think, 100% change. Crowded maglev Skytram rushing through neon canes of cyberpunk city. Inside passengers packed shoulder to shoulder, some standing and others some passengers. And others are seated. Their faces glowing with augmented reality overlays and intrusive advertising. I'll tell you one thing. Whenever you put cyberpunk into like ChatGPT or something, it's like the worst thing in the world because it always says like there's drones surveilling everywhere. It's like every freaking image I have to go back inside the prompt. It's like, no, don't say drones everywhere because it's just like kind of ridiculous. Graffiti tags and flickering hollow screens. And some things I think it just, I don't even know if it, what does an oppressive energy mean? I don't even know what that means. Okay, the comparison, it kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And see, I don't know that I like that part where it's like, you know, like this light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't even look like a train anymore like that. Oh, someone sent them in Discord. Is that what's going on? Is that like noise I'm hearing? So that way I don't have to interrupt and go back and forth. Okay. So okay, where was I? Yeah, I don't know if I like that. So I'm just gonna go back to doing this. Go back to the first pass. I'm not gonna do it. Not that one. Option. Just gonna mute that out for a second. Let's do this at a lower resolution. Maybe it'll go faster. I do kind of like this one. I don't know if it necessarily looks like a train, but it's something. I might even change the idea behind this just to fit that. Okay, put this one here. Anyway, let's do this one. Um, most of the time in ComfyUI, I've found that I don't have to use trigger words. I mean, every once in a while I do, but if I do, I just put them in the clip L part. Uh, but usually you don't have to, unless it's like, I found like, maybe if it's video, sometimes it's more helpful to do that, but it just automatically puts it. But if you want it in a specific way, then yeah, you might want to use some type of triggering words, but I haven't found too much of it either. This looks like, what is this, a car? See, this is also too, like when you over bake the lures, like it does like crazy stuff, and it's like, yeah, I kind of like that though, like something you wouldn't predict. It's like some weird like car show in the middle of the freaking train that also looks like a bar or a diner. I don't know what that is, but yeah, and this is almost looks like an airplane, the way they're all facing the same direction. Like, all right. Yeah, this one has tables. Imagine you going on a train and there are tables there. See, this is what makes you think I should put this in. I feel like I should put this in Chroma, just to, or at least like do a flux mod thing, so I can get the negative prompt back to see what I could do with that. Is it still running something? Oh, it's trying to run that despite the fact that there's nothing there. Oh, why does it automatically go up here? I don't know why it does that. Yeah, I was wondering why it was still running. Anyways, yeah, they're all probably too high, to be honest. There's too many hoodies. Let's turn down the hoodies. Jacket, I think, is okay. Let's turn up the outfits a little bit. The skin probably doesn't matter too much because it's probably not close enough to see that. I'm just gonna turn off the Android thing. I don't know what it did over here. Yeah, but I don't like this. Yeah, this right here is just, I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. Well, I could try some of the other ones too. Like, I need to redo, because it was in a cramped apartment. I didn't do anything about the evening because I've already have a few of these that weren't like this that I didn't do via Chat GPT, and I just kind of, again, like the one where it started off as like a medical thing and I turned it into like a bar. That was just me looking at it. It's like, let me make this look darker. And then afterwards I was like, you know what, let me let me actually turn this into a totally different place, because it looks like a different place. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, again, you can use Flux mod, which kind of, here, let me see what I'm talking. Let's actually do what I'm talking about. Flux mod. The Flux mod K sampler allows you to get that negative prompt back. It also means though you have to mess with the CFG again. Like, you having it at 1 doesn't do much of. Oh my goodness. If that's not an AI prompt, I don't know what is. Like, what in the world? They're gonna get run over by a train inside the train. Oh my goodness. Okay, it is like a lot more claustrophobic in this one, which I kind of appreciate. So I think some of those other lures are messing it up. Anyways, yeah, the Flux mod K sampler allows you to have more of this, how you say it, the negative prompt, but you also have to think about the CFG thing too. And I think you could treat it like it was Flux guidance to get it, but I don't know high up you can go with it. And the other workflow I did, it's more or less what do you say? I use Chroma with the Flux Mod K sampler and all these other weird things. It's hard to. I don't want to talk about too many things that are not on topic because it's like it starts to get really confusing. But yeah, I could try to trade this one out for that, but I don't know that I have a specific purpose, and yeah, I can just do all that stuff later. I'm really just still going for the look and feel of everything first. But let me see if I can show you some of those other things. Yeah, let me see if I can just turn on to the image viewer. That way I don't have to bog down the processing on this thing. And image capture. Where is it? Where's that thing? Yep, that one. Okay. Oh wait, you guys can't see it yet. Now you can. So one of these was like the prompt they use for the bedroom thing. Where is it? This is where's that thing? Yeah, the one where it talked about, I think it was the morning routine thing where it said there's a cramped lit neon hab block apartment stack thing. I changed a little bit of it, but for the most part I kept it just kind of the same as this. And when I did that, that's when I came up with these type of outputs. But I guess as you can tell, like I kind of changed it tonight in a few of these. But what I did like about how it did this was that it started off with something like really bland, but it always has a problem with people laying down. And I got these weird like effects, like with smoky things. So yeah, this was like more of the morning time. Yeah, this character with his hand underneath his arm underneath his pillow, but that's so weird. And this was, I think, this Flux dev. But then I took the same thing and then ran it through this guy. That arm looks so messed up, but I could still work with this as like a base. And I think if I kept working with this, then it probably would come out pretty cool in the end of it. But I think one of the issues was that it's just something about the limitations of like Flux Dev. So I put it all into this is, I think, Flux Crea. You can see like the difference in like how it doesn't look all. This looks like a dead body, like the eyes, whatever. But it started to look more put together. I still like this one. This could be like a B-roll shot. And then there's this guy, and I'm still like considering like using this guy as like a main character that we just kind of follow throughout the day. And then I started manipulating with the more of the Lauras. Like this is that one that makes it look more retro cyberpunk, more like a Tron type thing. But I totally overbaked it with this one. And I think I started to peel it back. This thing, I don't know what this is, but I freaking love it. I'm going to download Flux Mod and try it out later today. What do you impaint? Is that impaint you're trying? It almost like you said impatient. What is your ultimate goal or move or book or something? So the ultimate goal, after I get something on that have a look and feel of something that I like, then I move to like, let's say like this, right? It has a look and feel of something I like, but there's things that are kind of weird about it. Like, I don't know exactly. There's no arm here, no hand or something like that. And I'll probably put that in. The faces, maybe I like the way it's disfigured, maybe I don't. You know, it looks like it's wearing shades, so I might impaint something to change that. But the idea is that I do all these things to create keyframes for the actual cinematic. So that's where I use like the in painting for. It's like if I actually wanted to specifically change in a certain way. Like I know I did have there's a version of this thing here. Let me see where I can find it. Because that one where I showed you the woman laying down, that one originally, the one that was in the, what do you call it? My image manipulator. Let me turn that up. Not that one. This one. And here, like, she looks like you have like certain things that look right in this, but the problem is, let me zoom out a little bit. The problem is, there's a few things I just didn't like. Like, there's no pillow here. Things that like seem like more normal that people have. Like, would somebody really just? I know it's bad in a dystopian future, but they can't have pillows. Like, I didn't think that was like realistic enough, or like it didn't make enough sense to me. And I felt like this TV screen was like too far over. So what I did was, I did also fix the feet a little bit. You know, it's not that big of a deal, but because it's gonna be like just one frame, and I figure like the AI will figure out like what's supposed to be what. But I also wanted this to kind of be embedded into the wall a little bit more too. So if I go back, let me show where I can kind of mix this around a little bit. No, that's not that part. Here, let me show you my everything screen. Okay, so I'm here, and you can see a whole bunch of stuff that I've like gone through different versions of. But there's a certain section where I do just inpainting, and I can tell because it says inpaint option on here, versus the other ones that say image to prompt, which is that workflow I have that's about image to prompt. It's like I take an image, I drop it in there, and that's a different part. Is it under concepts or is it under added? It should be under concepts. Pretty sure it's under concepts. Yeah, because there's this little bed thing right here. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. I forgot how much stuff I had in here. And you can see how many like iterations I go through. So yeah, this is that guy right here, and at one point he was a she, which could be its own little episode. And I just started trying to figure out what I wanted them to look like. So I started doing, this is just image to image. This is without inpainting, just doing like little small variations to figure out like things like, so saying that I wanted something them over their goggles, changing their expression to meditating, stuff like that. That was like the things that really like made me really think about it. Like, this was a different version too. I kind of like this one, but it also looked like they were in like a hospital, which is not a bad thing, but I would probably change like how they were actually dressed too, because that doesn't look like, you know, that's not like a hospital gown or anything like that. So like small little things like that, like I have the overall feel of it I like, but there's certain things that just are out of place because it's AI, and there's like a different version of that too. Like, these are all like image to image edits of the same type of image. And like this one too, I never really got something that I agreed with on this one. But let's see, go back. I want to show you what I was talking about. So yeah, so if you look here, right, this is what it originally outputted with this other. I did this manually. That's why this is actually in here in GIMP. Is me manually like trying to unscrew up her feet. So, but I didn't like this part, and I didn't like there was a pillow. But the thing that I did in the inpaint right here, as you can see, like it progressing. You see like there's a pillow right behind her, and you see the screen. This one looks kind of damaged. I kind of liked it, but I also wanted to kind of be more embedded in the wall. And I love how it like made it all like crappily embedded in the wall. That's like really like cyberpunk dystopian. And then there's this version right here where I had like something on the screen. There's that thing. Didn't like it because it wasn't wide enough. But this one too, I could probably still go back over this and like, you know, really bring out that screen part. But that's really what I use the inpainting stuff for. So that stuff kind of helps me like paint a different type of narrative. So like when this does get animated, right, then they have something on the screen, they're laying on this thing, I can play off that idea of them laying off the pillow, like, you know, they're uncomfortable. Whatever this device is, like, you know, lighting up. Maybe it's her charging up something on her leg. I don't know. But that's the idea, is like little small things to help push a narrative for me, so that way it makes it more interesting. Okay, that's what I'm thinking you did. Okay, yeah. Aren't you making a video game? I'm trying. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, I do want to do that whole making a video game thing, especially utilizing like the visual parts of AI, not necessarily like the programming parts of AI, but yeah, I wanted to do that. But again, like, there's so much stuff, like even just simply like doing stuff for you guys for like more content, but also like, you know, even just helping you guys sometimes, like, you know, that takes time. And again, I'm not at a position right now where I can make this like a full-time job, because I'm not really getting that much from this. But I would like to, because then it really means I could dedicate so much time to it. Because I just not a few hours ago got off from a work shift, so now I'm doing this. So this is me unwinding, just doing this stuff and trying to just do something I kind of enjoy a little bit. And yeah, but I do want to do that. It's just I also want to do this too, and I think this is something that would be like more interesting to people, in the sense that they could see, again, those little pieces. You know, I can do that as well, like side by side. Like maybe if I get bored of this for a while, I'll go to the game thing, making the game sprites. But it's a similar format, if not the same, in the sense that I did use this workflow, this image to image, or my brainstorming workflow, to actually like come up with this too. So it's not that different, it's just a concentrating on a different part of like what I'm doing. So I wanted to try to do this in like phases. Like I'll show some like demonstrations of me doing this part, which is the brainstorming part, and then the other part is like actually like the video editing, and or even just simply just the storyboarding part. Like that's a part of like really putting it together, because I try to use ChatGPT for storyboarding sometimes, but it just like doesn't seem to understand like what I really wanted to do, and that's the part I don't like. So yeah, as you can see, that when I turn down the lures right here, it's not as baked over as it was before. But sometimes that's cool, because you get like little cool things. So like, let's say like this, right? You can take like the same kind of stuff you got, and then not have the overbaked Laura's influence this other image over here. It's not gonna look like this, of course, but it might look similar in some aspects, like whatever this thing is, this sling over this face. Because apparently in the one of these lures, I think a few of them actually, like everybody wears a mask over their face, which you know, it could be a thing, but maybe not all the time. Or at least not the same type of mask. This is Flux. Yes, this is Flux. This is my Flux workflow for brainstorming. I mean, I could probably make another version of this for Chroma, which also I think makes really cool stuff too. But I can't remember if it's been a while since I've used Chroma. I can't remember if the Flux lures actually work for Chroma, or at least I don't know if it works predictably, but it might do something. I'm guessing you use 1.2.2 for the video. Yes, 1.2.2 for the video portion. Yes, and thanks for joining the Discord. And I'm trying my best to, like, the hours that I can, just be on Discord in that channel that says, what does it say? The voice channel? That's the only one I got. But the voice channel that I'm on right now, that says general inquiries. So yeah, if you see me on that, just don't be afraid to log in and just ask me questions. I mean, if you don't want me to hear your voice, that's fine too. But you can always do that and ask me stuff directly if I'm there. I don't mind at all. The more questions people ask me, the more it gives me ideas for things too. This is really freaking cool. I don't know what this is really going on here, but I like it. it doesn't seem to make much sense. I don't even know. It looks more like they're seated on the side of, like, you know, the deck where you're waiting for the train, but they're not. But they're already on it. Like, oh my god. How about this? Let's do this thing where maybe a few. Instead of saying seated, let's say sitting. I want to do something with this one. So this is what I mean. Like, when I see something like that really like piques my interest, what could I do with this with this specific image that might be interesting? Because I would never think that. Only AI would come up with something like this. I don't think anybody could like just imagine this right here. Yeah, the platform, that's what it looks like. It looks like the platform is like right here, but they're all on the train sitting, looking out or something. Or it could just be something other, I don't know. Like, this is like something everybody's looking down at the city below them, and they're at like some, maybe I could turn this into a restaurant or something. Like I know there's a certain like those revolving sky restaurant things. But yeah, this is what I mean about the brainstorming thing. Like, it comes up with something that I wouldn't think of, and it makes me rethink about the idea itself. Like, I might even just try to do that. I'm gonna like this one too, actually, because that actually might match up with the concept of this. Like, there's some viewing thing, some, I don't know, looking down at everything rather than being on a train. This looks like you're more in a tunnel going towards like the terminal or something. So yeah, I might reframe this now just because of that. So first I'm gonna do this. Let's turn off the first pass because we're not gonna do any of that anymore. And I want to work with this one. So turn in paint option and the image output back on. I don't know why this thing's blinking. It must be something outside of it that's, oh, it's this. That's why it's blinking off on my notes. Yeah, okay. So we're not using the in-paint option at all, actually. So we actually can turn that off. We're not in-painting right now. But we are doing image to image, which is what this is. So your logo intro, do you use ComfyUI? Yes, I did. I did use ComfyUI to create that. I went through several iterations, but it's two different parts. There's the animation for the swirling dust stuff around it, which initially I was making electrical, but I like the swirling dust effect a lot more. And then there's another one that I created for the galaxy looking thing where it's like going into with the smoke or whatever and all the different colors, and one's an overlay on top of the other. So I made it so that way the logo has a different, it's a lot longer, the animation for that, than the actual background. And if you look long enough, you'll notice it. Like, they're not the same thing. But yeah, it's really cool. Like, alright, I should have did a video on that one, where it's like how easy it could be like to create like logo animations, or at least to make them fluidly like do things. Because I basically did a first frame. Oh, the one I did for the one, it's your image actually. The one with the female animation where she, like, her dress lights on fire. Like, imagine that, right? Where you just have one frame and you tell it what you want it to do in the animation, right? And it also works with the flux context thing to change it at the same time. So it changes it to that swirly, like, logo thing, right? And then all I do is I take that last frame that it created, put that as the first, and then reverse the other. So basically I just reconnect them the opposite direction. So the first frame becomes the last frame, and then the last frame becomes the first frame. And all you have to do is just go back into that workflow and just swap the connections. You don't have to do anything else, and then do it one more time, and now you get like an animation that loops. That's all you have to do. It's like the coolest thing ever. I discovered it by accident, but I realized like, oh man, this is like genius in its own way. See, look, now they look like, oh, they're like students or something like that, and like some kind of weird school project thing. I gotta make more diversity in the characters, but that might be an in-paint thing, but I also might do some other things to do it as well. I could like say like male, female characters or something like that at the same time. But now see, like it reframed this whole thing for me. That's why I do the image to image right there. I was not expecting it to do that. I don't even know how it did that. Alright, so let's do this. Let's I'm gonna run this cinematic cybernetics. What can we change? Alright, let's stop talking about the train. There are graffiti tags, flickering hollow screens. Okay. Sky Observatory. How about that? And overcrowded. Sky Observatory. Viewing the neon canes of the cybersonic moon. How about that? No, inside. Yeah, inside. And over. I don't know if it's capitalist. Me neither. Students are packed shoulder to shoulder. Male and female students are packed shoulder to shoulder, standing. A few are sitting, their faces glowing with augmented digital overlays. We don't have to do any of this stuff. How about this? What does it say? Digital blah 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 blah. How about they? Others are staring outside the window at the cityscape. There is. Oh, there are graffiti tags. Yeah, okay. Click on the screen. Their faces. There's something I missed. I think it said tram. Yeah, here we go. There. Digital billboards posted across walls, tunnel walls with hay. Tram. Now we can put it maybe in the background. Moving across the cityscape on an elevated track? I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, let's go with that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but let's see if we can reframe the concept of this and see what it does just for the image to image purposes. And one thing I don't like about this workflow is it's really hard for me to figure out is how to like not make it all over the place. And I think as much as I don't like using the, what do you call them? The get set nodes, that's like the only way to do that. Because like, you know, I'm typing a prompt for something over here that's gonna have an output over here, rather than, you know, it working in a flow pattern. It kind of works in a back and forth pattern, which is, you know, it's not designed to be like one singular type of output. It's really how my brain works. So I guess it makes sense that it's like that. And this is actually, this is at 920, 1080p. Did it upscale it? Because I could have swore I took the scaling down. Maybe I didn't use the outputs from the ones that are scaled down. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. That's a good question. Are you not using Z? I am not. I am not using Zcash right now. I've actually never used Zcash for images for some reason. I always just thought of it like, you know, I was thinking about video. I probably could like incorporate some more stuff for like making it less or making it more efficient, but I haven't really thought too much about it. What happened to his head? Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna turn up the D noise a little bit more. Try to see if we can get a little bit more, a little bit more differentiation from the original. But I know one thing, it's doing the cityscape pretty freaking good. I like the way it does the cityscape. I haven't been lately, but yeah, like Zcash it's good for, I think, speeding up things when, I think it's because when there's not a lot of change in the, how you call it, the latent space or something like that. Like it's the initial, you know, run through, it probably won't have that much of a difference in timing for, but if I remember correctly, the idea is that, oh my god, I did put a tutorial on the Patreon about this. The idea is that you, whatever like the latent thing that you're currently on, right? If it's not much difference from the next one that it's looking at from the frames, it just kind of like doesn't process that one. It's almost like, what do you call it? Dithering, but in a, what do you call the jeez, I'm losing my words, man. I'm working too much. The thing where, oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. It's like it analyzes the attention layer. That's what it is. It analyzes the attention layer and tries to see whether it's like a big difference. Whether it's gonna be a big difference from this one or not, or it's gonna be similar to what you're actually looking at already. So if it's the same, like, or similar, very similar, it'll just kind of like skip over that one, and it only just deals with the ones that are different. Or is that sage attention? Oh my god, I might be confusing myself. Yeah, but most of it is like. Yeah, I think, no, Sage Attention does that. That's right. Sage Attention does the thing where it pays attention to attention layers. Tcash, it's similar, but it's not, because it does deal with the actual RAM and saving you from having to reprocess the same type of thing over and over again. The other one is like focusing on things where like the attention layer has not really changed that much or something like that. I'm wording it really poorly, but Tcash does deal with like more like the RAM stuff, and Sage Attention deals more with the processing stuff. It's a little bit better though. I guess this is what trying to design the little track, but there's no tram on it. But that, I wouldn't want to impate that on there. That would probably take too much effort. Although I do still think it's interesting. Anyways, there's that one, and then where's that other one? Yeah, this one. That's the one I really want to work with. This looks really. Yeah, I like this guy. I don't know why I like this guy, but I really like this character. It went a little overboard with some of this, but hey, you never know. In the future, that might be really stylish. Okay, so this one's gonna be a lot smaller. 1.5 dimensions smaller. I haven't done Flux in a while, but I remember playing with CFG, Flux CFG 1.2, get some interesting results. Beyond that, I think it goes to heck. You mean like the guidance on Flux, or are you talking about the Flux mod version? Oh, you know what's crazy? I do this sometimes. Now, this might seem ridiculous to other people, but again, I love the in paint, or not the underpainting type of effect, where I turn this down really low, like 1 something or 0.8 on guidance, and yeah, like it just looks so freaking crazy, and it's almost like horrific. Like, I don't know, I think it's cool sometimes, but it's good for stuff like this though. Matter of fact, we might just do one just for the sake of like showing you that. No, this is, dude, the way this thing does the city is so, oh my god, that's so freaking cool. All right, so one of the things I don't like is everybody looks so similar. I don't like that, and I want to be able to do this without inpainting. I want to solve this issue, but I'm going to come back to that. I'm just going to run it again because I want to see what we can do with this thing. Because it actually might make a little bit more sense for this image, being that it's like, this does have like an observation look to it, but this looks like people might be in a classroom type of setting, possibly. I don't know. I gotta work that one out. Oh, the CFG. Okay, that was in Stable Diffusion Forge. Guidance there, that CFG setting. I think it's in the case sampler. So, alright, I haven't used Forge in so long, so I can't really say exactly how they interpret Flux on that, but I just know that the still version of Flux, which is the Flux dev version, it doesn't have really, the CFG doesn't really do much of anything by itself. That's why they added like Flux guidance, so that way you could actually manipulate it better. This guy looks like a freaking, almost like he turned into a zombie. This guy looks suicidal. Or should I not say that on YouTube? He looks like he's gonna off himself. But yeah, I don't, yeah. That looks interesting though. It might have too much variation. Turn down the, I usually don't go below 60 because it really doesn't show much difference below 60. I did say male and female, right? Okay. Yeah, now they just seem like they're walking on the edge of a track. Alright, so maybe we need to be descriptive about what that is over there. Inside a crowded observatory. With a large glass panel. Large glass paneling, I guess you could say. Viewing the neon canvas. Low. I don't know, it looks so strange. I like it still, but it looks so strange. I have no idea how many of these like frames I'm gonna go through before I really start to feel like I've got like where it's gonna go, how it's gonna get there. Did something weird right here. It's like a different segment of the image. I don't know what I'm looking at, guys. Although this does look like it could actually be like yeah, they're at a facility, like there's a train station or something, and this could be coming in as a train. It still has that feel to it, which makes sense because I didn't really change it that much. I'm gonna use this one. I do like it. I'm liking it. I like that guy. I could do like an image like merging type thing, like merge the latent images together. But the last time I did that, it got haywire because I kept just merging and merging and merging and merging. Merge. I think it's latent merge. Oh, latent blend. Yeah, that's what it was. Latent blend. I guess we with TV screens for faces. It's so silly. I kind of feel, I really like this one for some reason. It's just, I need to go back to the train feeling with this one. Inside it, overcrowded train station with large glass paneling, viewing. You know, I'm gonna keep that glass paneling part, even though it doesn't make any sense. There, the tram is approaching the station in perspective in the distance. What if I say female first? Emphasize the females more. I hate the fact that you can't do that stuff like you did in Stable Diffusion where you can emphasize a specific person. It doesn't really let you do that in Flux, but oh well. It could be Memberly, it could be me, it could be you. I don't know. Like on my display, as far as like the mixer, it's saying I'm close to getting to like the yellow in the yellow bar area. So I'm trying not to do this like loud distortion thing with my voice. So I'm trying to keep it within that range. And so it's hard for me to tell. I can't tell what it sounds like for you guys. You guys have to kind of tell me if I'm not being heard correctly. But those bars are getting pretty high on my side. I'm trying not to have any like clipping audio. Yeah, okay, so it went back, it got the glass paneling back. Alright, so let's take away people sitting, because that doesn't make any sense. Unless a few are sitting on benches, maybe? still work. This is not too bad though. I still like it. It just doesn't make much sense. What, I don't even know what it is. I can turn it up some more, but how about now? What does it sound like now? Is that better? I'll turn this other part up too. I think that should sound better. Alright, I think the glass paneling is throwing it. Maybe I should just get rid of that. Neon Canyons are side of a city. Seen below. Okay. Well, you know, like I said, I'm still getting used to the idea of like the streaming stuff. It's not my normal forte. The program itself, the OBS stuff, the different screen stuff, mics, all these other things. And knowing how people actually coordinate all of it, I don't know that stuff. It's not like I have like a soundboard or something like that. I can't. Is this a mask for one lip showing? Ooh, okay. I don't quite understand this, but I like it. Maybe if I use flux context, I could like take away these screens that don't make sense to me. Not unless people are like wearing screens on their bodies. Like, I don't know how they're doing that. Do I have something that says like they're wearing screens? I think that's just might be one of the lures. There are augmented reality overlays. Maybe the overlays thing is telling them to do that. Because I don't think I don't mention anything about LED screens. I don't think I mentioned that at all. Let's just run it one more time. Flickering hollow screens. I think that's this stuff in the background. But what is it they're staring at? It might be the lure. I think it just might be that. I'm gonna turn that one down. Take it down from 100%, maybe 90. Well, now they're not doing that. This is totally shifted on me. Maybe it was just chance. Okay. Sorry, I got lost in I got lost in the being mesmerized. What I might do is, since I like this one so much, work from image to image off that one now. That one and this one. I think when I said in the distance, it's like putting it in the, oh wait, well, see in this one it kind of like did it a little bit more like I was thinking. Of course I don't know what this stuff is. Dude, this guy looks so freaking cool. I don't know. I don't know anything else, but this guy looks so freaking cool. This is actually Shanghai 2025. This isn't like this isn't even like cyberpunk. This is just like now. Yeah, I think those screens just pop up as just, I don't know, some feature of like a train station or something. I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, like maybe I should specifically say, did I not specifically say, or did it not say specifically on the walls? Yeah, on the post across tunnel walls. They are glowing faces with augmented overlays. Period. Their faces are glowing with augmented reality overlays, and there are just advertisements, digital billboards, and that pulse across tunnel walls. The tram is moving along the track. I'm gonna put this next to the other thing that talks about the tram, yeah? Yeah, this looks like they're in a line to go wherever this thing is that's supposed to be. This I would probably paint over to make the tram come out better, because it looks like it's trying to make this one train, but it split them up into pieces. But this part right here, I think, kind of works by itself. And then it's a long, crazy line just to get on the train. And this might be a reason to take this guy and paste him into this screen. Just because I like this guy so much. Oh, this guy's from like Star Trek. What is this? Yeah. Okay, so I think I was more satisfied with this output. I'll run it one more time, but even with these screens here, you know, I'm still a little bit more interested in this one. Okay, what was that image merge thing? Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Latent blend. So, what's the best way I could do it for this? There's a latent right there. Yeah, I don't know why it wants to convert it. I think it just wants to put them all on the train. I think that's what it is. And this is probably not going to be included in the workflow that I'll re-release of this, but I'm just going to do it anyways. So I just want to see what might happen. I'm gonna drop this one in here, and let's work with this one. These two. This is going into where? Cyberpunk Concepts. Merge. See how fast that is? Looks ridiculous right now. Like, yeah, different type of like underpainting thing. I want the top one to show up more. So I think it's like 0.75. Whoa. Holy crap, isn't that... No. Why did it change so much? That's what I don't get. What did I do to make it change that much? I wonder what would happen if I put a case sampler in between that. Don't go over too many times. Let's go over 10. Maybe 15. I don't know. Alright, what was that last output? Ooh. That's something. Although this looks like it's impossible. That's the type of Mac love I've never seen before. Oh no, I'm using Linux, Ubuntu, which is, well, I guess Macs and Linux were both based on Unix environments, so they're similar in that fashion. But I am not using Mac. I own a Mac, or MacBook Air, but don't do a lot of computing on it actually. But yeah, it's my mobile computer when I have to use that. But yeah, I don't have Windows at all, so that's the main reason why I don't do installation tutorials. Is it's not that I wouldn't want to. It's mostly that if I did one, it might not be able to apply to everybody else's systems, because everybody's different. And I think especially stuff like when people are trying to install Sage Attention, like it's much easier to do it on Linux than it is to probably do it on Windows. Windows is too bulky for me. Yeah. I don't know what they're using now. I don't know what, they've buried themselves so deep into whatever they're doing that they don't want anybody to know. Exactly. I guess you'd have to work at Apple to really know at this point, but I assume just the way that like they package everything, that it's still very similar, like with like the modules and stuff like that. How do you play video games? Steam. Steam has the ability to has that like interpreting thing. So I play like, well, right now I've been playing, what do you call it? That Star game that I like so much. It's like an exploration game that's like completely like a procedural universe type thing. Oh my goodness, what is it called? Not Star Citizen. I probably should try to play Star Citizen. I just don't have enough time. It's like a survival, like type game. God, why can't I think of it? Oh, No Man's Sky. Yeah, I play No Man's Sky sometimes, and yeah, it works perfectly fine. It's like nothing. I used to play like the what was the other one? Cyberpunk, the game. There's Guild Wars 2. Like you'd be surprised how much like we're past that point where like nothing seems to work on Linux. That's not really a thing anymore. I mean, there's certain things that won't, but most of the stuff they it seems to like, especially if you have. I don't play shooters as much anymore. They've gotten too boring for me. It's too redundant. That's the reason why I like those games like No Man's Sky, where it's like more about discovery. Like there's a little bit of like, you know, shooting stuff in there, but it's different. And they managed to make the game not about even like monetary stuff. Like you'd be surprised how easy it is to just find somebody to just give you a bunch of stuff that you can have like for like generating money in the game. It's just so different. Like I'm probably gonna go back when GTA comes out. I'm gonna play that again, and I still need to start playing Ghost of Tsushima, something like that. I'm saying it a little bit weird. All right, now they're just doing cars in the grass. With this is not actually that bad. If I just change this one part, it's actually pretty decent. Wow, look at that one. I don't know what's happening here. They're too close to this thing though. But yeah, I'll probably just do something about that. But I think it's starting to lack the cyberpunk feel. Let's try to add one more thing to this. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, was that this one? Oh, that was my image merge thing. Maybe that's why it's not enough. Not enough steps on that. I'm in the US, man. Just like 30% of my I think like 30% of my viewers on here. This merge is doing interesting stuff, but it's so unpredictable. Maybe merge these two now. Here, you come here, you come here. I don't know what these people. Oh, look at that. I like this, but it doesn't make sense. Still doing that weird screen thing. Let's I think we should start using the inpaint option. Whoa. How did we get there? How did we get there, dude? Alright, we may need to lower that denoise. It's pulling it's pulling a model from everything and everything comes from outside the lore, so yeah, it still makes sense. Let's do this. Take off the students part. I think that might be the problem too. Day workers. I don't know. Am I skipping the other ones? Is that one? Because I feel like it still should be doing image to image output. I don't think there's any reason why it wouldn't be doing it. I want this character to show more. Am I doing it backwards? Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it might have been that. The D noise was too hot. This one I actually like a lot for a strange reason. There's something about this, like everybody up top here looking down at this is very ominous. Like I could, I don't know, this is the American in me talking. I could imagine like some kind of weird active shooter situation, or like some terrorist type thing going on in the middle of this, and then they're all looking down at it, and then they just like scramble. That doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't have the same feel as this. I want the styling choices that they chose for that. That's going to be the challenge here. Move this here. Let's see if we can get that to work. And I think well, you know what? I want to keep letting it do its thing with that. I was going to tell it to stop doing that, but I think maybe if it continues on, it might pop up something interesting sooner or later. No, that's not what I want. That's not it. Okay, let me think for a second. How do I this stuff to show up here? Could use for a different way I could do it without going into a totally different workflow. Be the outfit thing. I don't necessarily want more hoodie stuff. With a variety of different colored clothes. they're not cyberpunk enough either. I create the music. That's why it's not copyrighted. It's also AI generated. Almost everything on my channel, or at least on this channel, I try to create AI generations of, because one, that's what this channel is about, but two, it also, like, you know, it's not copyrighted stuff, so I don't have to worry about anything like that, like getting a copyright strike. But it's Suno. That's what I use. I actually have the playlist is actually listed for all the stuff I created on there. But I would say this. Sometimes what I do is I create, like, I've created it's a hidden playlist, but because this is actually sound that I've actually created myself, like synthesized myself. Sometimes it's from actual, like, samples that I've made from strange sounds, like even like wrenches and stuff like that, and I sample those up. I create synthesized versions of that, and then use that as a base sound to create a new sound via Suno. And then I add like little, like, genre elements to it as well, so that way it stays in a certain kind of, like, feel. And you can also, if you actually get a subscription to it, which I did, you can get this thing where you can take the feeling of a certain sound. So that's why you may or may not have noticed that a lot of the songs that I've created via that have a similar motif, and that's the reason why. It's because they've been made to have that same motif of the arcane alchemy sound. It's all purposefully done. Believe it or not, I've actually put a significant amount of time and thought into the creation of this channel. It wasn't just by chance. I like where it's going, but man, it just keeps coming back to this start that I don't like. And maybe I need to tell it that it has, like, some type of, because now we're doing this thing where it's like, it's not railing, it's, what do you call this thing where it's like a block that separates people from a safety thing? I don't know what you call it. Oh my god, banister? It's not a banister. Yeah, I'm getting really caught up in this one area or frame or something like that. I don't think I need to be this interested in this one freaking idea. Maybe I just come back to it. Let's move on. I mean, it's not like I don't have any of this stuff saved. Workday, evening. Oh, the corporate office. Let's see what the corporate office looks like. I want to do, like, you know, let's switch gears here. A flux prompt about the same subject, but through the point of view of a criminal. Day in the life of a criminal. There we go. Let's get gritty with this whole idea. It's I think if I say railing, it's gonna, like, actually create rails, which I don't want to do. I just want that little small miniature wall that it had up there. Did the music stop playing? I think the music stopped playing. Or is it just me? I don't know what happened there. I didn't do the normal background music, I think that'll still work. Okay, people who standing in a few sitting on benches. All right, let's take off sitting on benches. Maybe like a small standing beside a small retaining wall. Technically, it doesn't make sense to have like a retaining wall for people, but I guess maybe that's how overcrowded it really is. Because they're just gonna overflow the whole platform. Train station platform. I don't know what it just did. I don't know what it just did, but I'm not interested in that. Okay, so let's talk about our new subject. Do you want to build a full day? Yes, please. Yeah, I want a full day cycle. Current neon safe house inside of a decaying tower. Oh, you know, that might be interesting. What if we had like a regular worker, a day in the life, and then a criminal day in the life, and then somehow they cross paths. Like that movie Crash. That might be interesting to do this like that. Workday, hustle and crime. Streets and survival. Let's go with that one. I don't even know what it says. I'm just gonna copy it. Hope for the best, and then when it comes out like crap, I'm just like, what is this? Okay, so alright, we're just gonna let that do whatever. Copy and paste the new prompt in. And this is what I think is cool. We're gonna put this on first pass. Oh wait, I'm not even looking in the right area. Take the first pass, put that option back on, and we're gonna keep image to prompt on. So it'll have this prompt with this image, and somehow it'll blend them together to turn them into something else, and see what mystery of things it comes up with. Stuff that just doesn't make any sense. This is actually kind of cool. I just want a tram here now. I don't mind these weird looking face things. This would be some weird trend. It also might be, when I do the actual upscaling of this image, it might clean up some things too. Let's see what's in our where's that other one at? So also want to make sure at the end of all this, like everything kind of matches up together. Okay, so what do they say? This looks like a criminal enterprise. What is this? It's like this guy's walking. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's just, what's criminal about this? The criminal moves through a bustling. How about a criminal? Since we just introduced this person. A criminal moves through a bustling night market under the rain neon light, flipping off puddles. Smugglers whisper deals. Yeah, it's not gonna show that. That's like a Toyota Camry. Like what? What is that? All right, so this is when it put those two prompts together with the previous image. I'm gonna keep letting it run on that. Danger into the city is alive, chaotic, driven with danger and temptation. It looks more or less like this one's okay. This one looks pretty cool. I need this to change. These vehicles are terrible. I gotta cyberpunk this up a little bit. Let's go with this one. Not that high though. Man, this looks. What is that movie? Oh God, what is the name of that movie with the replicants thing? That's what this reminds me of. Yeah, the only thing that needs to be different in this thing are these freaking vehicles. Once the vehicles change, this thing is like perfect. There's your in-paint option. Now we have a reason to put in-paint on here. Well, it's processing that thing. Okay. I'm gonna keep that little blue light under there. That looks cool. That gets covered up. Okay. Save that thing. Oh my God, that was so bad. I knew I should have just changed the color of it so I could see it better. I don't know why I just did it that way. Okay, that should be good enough. Whoa, oh, look at that. Man, you see? That's why I do this. That right there. There's no way I could have like predicted that it was gonna do it that way, but that mixing of the prompts with that previous image that was totally unrelated created something really freaking cool, just like that. That's why I like the AI thing, like the haphazard stuff that results. Like this is so much better than what I was trying to imagine. Like now it looks like something like some strange metropolitan area, almost like Total Recall or something. And you got these people looking over, you know, maybe change the heads of these guys a little bit because they look like twins. But yeah, that's exactly the stuff I like about this. That's so freaking cool. All right, what else did it come up with? Ooh, look at that. When I added that extra cyberpunk thing, that's when I actually that lore like pulled it together. Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit more crispy nature to it, make it a little bit more solid, but yeah, that one can go. But yeah, little small things like that really can help bring out like some cool stuff. All right, so let's do this in-paint thing. So for the in-paint, all right, to make this a lot better, we're gonna just unload everything, because now we're actually gonna use the in-paint option. Turn on in-paint, turn off first pass, and we need to turn on all of the other options to input 2. So this turns on the flux fill model. This one turns on the conditioning to this one, so we're going to condition with this part right here, the in-paint option, and this turns on the in Paint 2, which this turns on the in Paint conditioning thing, so we actually get the latent from here. And of car, you know what? How do we do this? A futuristic retro vehicle. I don't even know how to describe what I want to see because it doesn't exist. Oh, how about this? A futuristic retro sport utility vehicle. Yeah, let's go with that. I don't know exactly how to describe it. Not really the best at this kind of thing. Oh man, hold up. I hope the stream doesn't get crapped as it tries to load up this model. I still do. This has a lot of potential. Thing too. I should have said that bar. Did they have a word for amphibious when it like, if it like is, can we travel on the ground and air instead of like the ground and water? I just don't like that image at all. Oh, you know what? I know what I didn't do. Yeah, I forgot to freaking clean the VRAM. I'm pretty sure that's what I forgot. Freaking black screen. I always forget the silliest things. Well, okay. How long have I been streaming? Oh man, I think I've been streaming a while now. I think this might be one of the last things I do for this stream. And I think I need to start scheduling like times instead of just making them random. Still don't know when is a good time to schedule these streams either. That's the biggest problem with all of this is scheduling a stream and not knowing when people are actually gonna be able to watch it. Says it's too high. There we go. I don't think it did much with it. I really don't think it did that much with it. Because, yeah, it didn't really change much of anything. But it's probably because it's at 62. Let's just up that. So now we want to really change something. You're going to want to push that denoise up a lot higher. Because if it's too low, and when you're doing in-painting, hell, I might actually want to just put this at like 90 something. Even with the whole differential diffusion and all this kind of stuff. Having the noise mask on actually helps too. Rather than if you take it off, it doesn't really... I don't know, it's like it doesn't blend as well. Oh, okay. I just noticed the private messages in Discord. Salt to a slug. That's what your name. Salt to a slug. Okay. I'm just gonna call you Salt. There are random generations I've created so that I'm not total rookie. Hey man, you can be a rookie or not a rookie. It's still, this is a learning thing. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and technically, I kind of feel like we're all kind of rookies in this whole thing because AI is so brand new, man. I don't think people understand like how long has the Flux dev model like really been out. It hasn't been around that long, and that's when really all the excitement started. I think where like people seeing so many like people really getting into it. Like Stable Diffusion was one thing, but like, do you even hear any updates? I haven't really looked so much, but like Stable Diffusion 3, will there be a Stable Diffusion 4? Like, are we, Black Forest Labs came out of nowhere, and then it's just like all these other people start popping up. Now we're doing open source video generation. Yeah, I think this needs to be almost at 100. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. Feature goes to a sporty tune. don't think there's such thing as a retro sport utility vehicle. I don't think there is that even a. I think sport utility vehicles are not. I don't have anything like that from the 50s. Not that I'm aware of. I'm describing too much of a modern day. I want that. Something totally different. Futures is brain-soaked retro-style alien spacecraft. Maybe if I upscale it, it'll like go to the next level of that. Alright, where's the latent is based off this image, but the conditioning needs to be pulled from somewhere else. We need to pull the conditioning. Alright, so let's activate it. Conditioning should be pulled from here. All right, yeah, let's put Wilson. Yeah, he is walking beside an alien space. Yeah, okay, no. He's walking beside an alien near the sidewalk. How about that? Yeah. That almost looks like a hearse. I'm not gonna lie. It just doesn't necessarily look like anything specific. We need to hit this at 1.5, not 1.25, to get that HD. Oh, it looks like a DeLorean now. This for? Oh, for the image resize. Okay, yeah. I don't think I'll need that though. If I'm doing it late upscale, why did I have that in there? Yeah, I don't know why I put that in there. Oh, that was crap. I don't know what the heck I did that. VAE, upscale, this is phone. I must have did that out of order. I'm pretty sure I did that out of order because that doesn't make any sense. Look at that, that's just a bloody mess. Taking a lead from here. Alright, how do I clean up this workflow? This thing, I don't think this resize state is necessary anymore. Yeah, I don't think that means anything. This is just for the stream basically, I don't really know. I'm not gonna use that at all. Even though it did work. It did help a little bit. Special note. Probably is gonna go here. Yeah, I gotta talk about switches about. What should I say about all that? Oh, well, that's why. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's using the wrong model. That's why. It's taking the thing from here, and we got flux fill. Yeah, that's why you don't do that. Okay, I get it now. There wasn't anything wrong with the connecting points. Undo. Yeah. Keep forgetting I have this freaking radio symbol, which is the anything everywhere thing. It's literally telling it to use flux fill as the model rather than the other one, which is why it's looking all blurry like this. Yeah, so we probably can't use those simultaneously. I need like a clean VRAM thing or something on here. Probably make that work, but I don't know. It's a bit cumbersome. Let's take off the symbol for you now. I don't quite get the feeling like it's creating an alien spacecraft either. Oh crap, I did that. Well, anyways. What's the other parts of the scene? Not that. Not that either. Oh my god, clicking on the wrong stuff. And return to the current safe house. High above the neon streets. Streets and survival, hustle and crime. Oh crap, it's still using flux fill. Oh my god, I'm so retarded. Switch. Alright, first dump all this and clean the VRAM. Oh, it's still running a task. Oh, I didn't know that. Oops. Alright, now dump all this. And clear it. Okay. Now switch back. I'm not even following my own. I gotta put a note up for myself. I gotta switch it back to the original model. Yeah, I'm trying to do everything with flux fill now. Yeah, I gotta. Even it being red is not enough to keep me aware that this is important. If you change the model to flux fill, you're just gonna get a bunch of this crap. If you're trying to create an image via latent noise, won't do anything. What I could do, where's this other one? This was here, right? And we can turn off in paint because we can't use it right now. Still take this and upscale it. So if you just run through here. But this is for the paint option. Oh yeah, we got a new setup. Yeah, we got a whole new prompt here. We just put it. Alright, well. Yeah, I gotta make this more intuitive because it's not even intuitive for me. It's my creation. see, maybe. I don't know what it's trying to show that's different in this. That one I like. It's like B-roll though. Okay, get notes. How am I gonna make this work? Put it in the same place though, because technically, maybe all the switches and the thing should be right here. This is where all that stuff is happening, right? The lines are freaking insane. And maybe that'll make it. I don't know. I'm trying to make that seem important is the hard part. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. Reloading the clip. Is it because I changed the model? I think maybe it is. Well, anyway. That one's pretty good. I do like this one. What is the description here? Rain-soaked alley crawling. Neon lights filled with hot generators. that looks good, but I don't think it describes. I don't think the scene looks like anything it describes. And that's the strangest part about this. Like, maybe it could be, again, over baking with lures, but I don't know. At any rate, I'm gonna probably end the stream there because I've been on for a while. I'm getting lost in my own work. But I hope you can see at least. Oh, that's pretty interesting. How I like go about doing this, as far as like formulation of ideas and making mistakes and turning them into things that are actually worthwhile. Actually, pretty cool. So I hope that part at least was informative of how to like kind of just go from nothing, start to work with something, and how something will turn into something more, as long as you just keep working with it. And I haven't really, as you can see, this version of the brainstorming workflow hasn't really been released yet, because again, I still have to figure out how to like make it more intuitive to use. Again, it was designed really just for me, and I just released it because other people thought it was interesting. But there is a version of it on like Patreon that's, you know, like this, but you have to reconnect stuff yourself. You can't. It doesn't have the switch notes thing there yet. So I'm probably gonna be updating it pretty soon. Now make the other one deprecated, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoy that. Yeah, and yeah, I just gotta figure out a way to not make this mental gymnastics all the time, messing with this workflow. Because even though when I get it, it confuses me at times too. Have a great day, guys, or a great evening, wherever you are in this wonderful world of AI.